Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Creature Features with Mark. And today we are doing a species spotlight on anacondas. So I got some anacondas right here. Let's get in the water with them. I wanted to bring something new to the channel, so I was like, let's just do a species spotlight and do something a little different. And I do a lot of education with these anacondas anyways, so yeah, be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and start. But this is, if anybody can guess, a green anaconda. And there is a northern green anaconda out there. So this is no longer the heaviest snake in the world. This will be the second heaviest because the green anaconda and the northern green anaconda have a 5% DNA difference, which is freaking crazy. Us and chimpanzees have a 3% DNA difference. So it's just crazy the difference. If this is the northern green anaconda, she would be so much thicker, like double as thick. It's insane. And there's actually 6 different species of anaconda. So, and then here's another one. This is a green, yellow anaconda, not green, yellow, and he's a little bit bigger, as you could tell. The species doesn't get bigger, but and for an anaconda, this is actually pretty small species. Yeah. And the males don't get as big as a female, so he'll top around like 9 to 12 feet, and the females will top around 14 feet, even more sometimes. But it's insane. And the yellow anacondas usually aren't this well behaved, if that makes sense. This specific yellow anaconda has met hundreds of thousands of people. My kid can take this to the playground and people could just pet this snake, and it's insane. But yeah. And usually when people are like, I've never held a snake or anything before, I give them the anacondas. I'm like, here, let's make it super memorable. And their let's see, their feeding diets. This snake right here is very picky eater. She only eats birds and frogs. There's actually a comment on the screen. Let's see what it says. Dream snake, oh, dream snake. There are a lot of dream snakes. I want every single species of anaconda. I think that would be really cool. And then I also want to make hybrids too. You find hybrids out in the wild as well. And naturally, like, so if you looked at the continent of South America, right, and you cut it in half, like the northern part of that continent is where most of the anacondas are going to come from. So a lot of their territories and everything will actually cross over each other, and they will hybridize in the wild. So you'll find different hybridized anacondas and stuff like that. It's crazy. But this is a pure yellow. This is a pure green, and I think it would be fun to do hybrids with these two in the future. And then I also want to make some pure ones as well. And speaking of dream animals, this anacondas are a dream animal for me too. They always have been. So when I was able to get one, it took me till I was like 30 years old to even touch an anaconda, let alone have one. So definitely a dream animal. They are on the side of like learning how to read snakes. These are some of the hardest snakes to read, I think, especially with their body language or demeanor or anything. I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but if you look, you can see their eyes sit on top of their head. It's insane, kind of like a crocodile.
Hey,
And so
Mark.
that allows them to sit above the water. How's it going, Steve? Are you
Hey,
there?
I am here, brother man. Hey, I wanted to go because of what you're doing here. I had actually reached out to some of my friends, and I had a couple questions that came in. If you are all right with me just reading them off,
Yeah, I
um,
can't see the screen too well, so please.
so, um, so I have a question here that somebody asked. They said, um, are they all from the same region? Like, would you find the greens and the yellows? And you said that there's what, 7 or 8?
6 different species.
6. So neither of those. uh, would they all be found in the same region or?
Yeah. So they actually do overlap in the wild. I said earlier, like if you took the whole continent and then essentially split it in half, and then the northern hemisphere is where most of your anacondas are going to come from.
Okay.
And so their territories all automatically overlap, and they will mate with each other. Like different species will mate. So you'll have hybrids out in the wild. You'll have all kinds of stuff out there. It's insane.
That is cool. That is cool. So, I have a question now. off of what you had already said. So you said that there's a variant in the size. What size would you be looking at on adults for those roughly?
So this right here, this male that I have, he is about, I want to say 8, 9 years old right here, and he's about 6 feet long, maybe seven, right around there. I'll say 6.5 feet, but he'll get up to like 9 to 12 feet possibly. But I'd put him right around like the 9 to 10 foot mark. He'll get, and the females will get up to 14 for the yellows. Now with the green anacondas, like this one I have behind me, um, before the northern green anaconda came, what I think it was last year, they actually classified it in its own subspecies. So before that one came out, this normal green anaconda was the heaviest snake in the world. And she can get up to 20 feet and anywhere from 3 to 500 pounds, which is insane. I can't even imagine. The biggest snake I have right now weighs, I think, 92 pounds, and she's about 18 feet long.
How old do you think that is? That one right there in your hands.
This one, I've had her since a tiny little baby, and she's about 2.5, 3 years old.
So how
Um,
long how long do you think it'll be before she eclipses, let's say, 15 foot? Is
I
that
want to
gonna
say a good 10 years at
yeah.
least. And then it depends on how you feed them too. I don't ever power feed any of my animals, especially like my retics. I just do. I like to keep them nice and slender and fit, if that makes sense. So I don't want like a fat
Sure.
animal. I want something that can move. I want something like I just did a birthday party with my 16 and a half foot, 17-foot reticulated python named Daisy, and she's able to coil around your body like no problem, kind of like you're a tree limb. And she can do that because she's not fat. She doesn't have a lot of fat essentially blocking her organs and all that stuff. So um, yeah, as far as size and everything, you can get these animals bigger faster if you feed them, and that's just like any case. But I want them to live a really long life, so I like to grow them up kind of slower, if that makes sense, and just nice and healthy. And this one's really picky. Like my yellow one right here only eats hamsters and quail. Super picky. I think I got him to eat a guinea pig one time, but I had to like rub a hamster all over it. And then this green one only eats quail and frogs. And luckily, I live in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, I guess there's bullfrogs everywhere, but I live where there's a lot of bullfrogs. So she will just mow down those bullfrogs. And bullfrogs are invasive, so it's good to get them out. But yeah,
So how long so the other one's quite a bit bigger. Have you had that one since it was little too?
I've had him since he was about 3 years old, I want to say. And he is about 2 feet long, 3 feet long at that time.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, with this snake, I did a lot of behavioral training with him. I did a lot of desensitizing and letting them meet lots of different people and just socializing them. And most yellow anacondas I've met are not nice. I've had a few other ones too, and none of them are nowhere as nice and special as this one. It's crazy. And then I did a name contest online, and everybody went with Bumblebee, so I named him Bumblebee off like Transformers. And if you go kid-friendly names, it helps them associate better. So the animal's not as scary.
Yeah, I love that.
Close up with the camera. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, this is Bumblebee. And you can see a camera can't even pick it up, but there's so much iridescence and shine to this guy. It's insane. He's all rainbow color. And that rainbow color is actually camouflage from birds. So you know how birds hit like windows and stuff? They go bang, bang in the windows unless they have like a special film on them. Same kind of concept. It's like a mirror effect. So birds can't see them. It's amazing. And then the healthier the iridescence, the healthier the snake. Or I guess the more iridescence, the healthier the snake. Yeah, this guy's just super cool. And these are essentially fully aquatic. I mean, they'll come on land and stuff like that to bask, or essentially like they'll come out on a branch and bask. But when they're adults, they're essentially fully aquatic. And most people don't keep them how they should be kept. And they love the water. And it's amazing. And when they get bigger, when they get to the hundreds of pounds marks, the water actually helps their organs and everything. It's kind of like a whale. If you have a beached whale and it's on the land, it essentially suffocates under the weight of itself. And when you have bigger anacondas and stuff like that, when they're adults, they'll just live their entire life in the water because it helps support all their organs and everything. And out in the Amazon, there's a lot of like floating debris. Like there's a lot of like debris that connects together, and it builds like islands essentially. And there'll be like trees that come off and grow off them and everything. But they're these floating islands, and that's where a lot of the massive anacondas live. And they just live underneath those islands and just essentially make tunnels and stuff under them. It's crazy, and they're just drifting islands out in the Amazon.
Now, is the Amazon someplace you would ever think about going?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a dream place. I've had a lot of
That's a
friends and
dream,
family
right?
go, but I've never been able to go. And to catch see these in the wild would be super amazing. And like I said before, they're one of the hardest snakes to read, like behavior wise, because they don't act like a normal snake. They don't move like a normal snake. They don't. Their eyes, sit on top of their head, not on the side of their head. And since they're aquatic, they really wrap around their prey. I think these are some of the best constrictors out there, and they really constrict their food. And the way they move, I call them like a cooked spaghetti noodle. So they're not like a arboreal tree snake where they can climb really well. They just essentially are floppy and really tight. Like I always tell people, they hold on to me, and I don't really have to hold on to them.
Well,
But
that
yeah, just
works.
like a cooked spaghetti noodle. It's awesome. That coloration. The anacondas, these are actually my favorite snakes just from working with them. They're so amazing. And each one has their own individual personality too. And they get to know you. Like it's crazy. They know you by sight and smell. Sorry if I'm out of breath. It's like 100 degrees right now, so it's super fun. But yeah, and then we have this green one. Her name's Athena. Uh, she's met so many people too. Let's see if the camera can pick her up. But you see those eyes, they sit on top of her head. Their tongue flicks are different than other snakes. And yeah, it's just like a limp cooked spaghetti noodle. That's weird. We actually have some elephant trunk snakes coming in soon. I'm really excited about those because they actually have like rough scales, and they'll hold on to their prey with their scales like fish
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's really unique, dude.
Like, we're gonna definitely do a species highlight on those.
Those are unique.
But yeah, these are really great aquatic snakes, and they live great
Have you been
aquatic lives.
around? Have you been around any of those elephants,
I have, but I've never actually worked with them.
dude? Yeah, they're so wild. That's gonna be a lot of fun, dude.
Escape snake. Whatcha! Here you go. But yes, and then yeah, with the greens, you could just see how this patterning is right now. It's amazing. And then there's other anacondas, like some of the subspecies that I was talking about. There's 6 different kinds. Some of them have really dark spots. Some of the subspecies, and I believe there's a is it a I'm not even gonna try to butcher the name, but there's an anaconda out there that's just really it's like a darker one of these, and it's its own subspecies, but it's insane. That
That
classic red on the I don't even know why they have the red stripe, but it looks really cool.
what I like is seeing them at the size they are now because I know that you're a lifer in this, so it's really cool to think, 20 years from now, I'm gonna see these things uh for all their glory, and that's gonna be so amazing.
Yep. And I do a lot of animal education. So a lot of people have met her when she was a baby. And then a lot of people have just watched her growing up too. And I've done like multiple parties for people, or people have come over, multiple times and played with them, stuff like that. And yeah, they get to watch all these animals grow up.
So how often do you feed them?
So it just depends, but you feed them more heavily in the summertime versus the wintertime. I think that's kind of universal around the board with everything. Um, and then I kind of just it depends if I have parties and stuff too. So like I didn't feed him. I was gonna feed him like 2 or 3 days ago, and then I knew I was gonna do the segment, so I kind of waited. But as soon as this show's over, I'm gonna feed him the bullfrog and hamster. Little suckerlings, hamsters.
All right.
But yeah, and then as they get bigger, you could feed